What's up, Knucklehead Nation? I am Tavia 10 Pal. Across the screen from me is your new 125-pound East Coast champion, Kevin Abdul. Kevin, how are you today?
Oh, I dropped you.
Oh, no.
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good, good, good. Thanks for jumping on with me. I know you're busy. I know you're just getting out of work, but we wanted to give you a chance here at Fighters Rep to, let Knucklehead Nation kind of get to know you a little bit, talk about your recent victory, and then just like any plans for the future. So we'll go ahead and jump in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let the fans know where you're from, how you got started in the sport, like what inspired you to get into martial arts, etc. Give us kind of like the rundown on Kevin.
Actually, June 8th. Like, I can't forget that day. June 8th. It was 2020. It's when I signed up. And that's when the whole COVID thing was. And it was just the start of, it was like just the open day. Like, they just reopened the whole everything. And I walked into the gym. And I was like, this is something I want to do. But I've been thinking about it for a while. And so it comes up to my 4-year mark. But I did take a 2-year spread where I had, I took care of some family business and I had to take care of some things. So I just kind of just came back on and jumped on. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's
Been about 5 years for you then, like, with the break, but basically you kind of started your training in adulthood, is what it sounds like.
yeah, pretty much. I did well. Can't say that. I grew up watching Ninja Turtles, so I was in the background doing the little work. You know what
Yeah, yeah. Very good teachers.
I mean? Yeah, I did that. Yeah, that's what I got. But no, I wrestled. I did all the. I mean, yeah, I did. I did start late. This is they say it's a young man sport, but I've yet to met a young man to beat me yet. So
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. No, I agree with you too. It's like, the guys that get the jump in their 20s or their like early adulthood, it's like, you run across them, but it's different when you kind of been around and lived a life.
I wish I did jump in it early, but I didn't. It is what it is. But also, I mean, I was in it, not in the sport wise, but life wise,
Oh,
So
sure. Yeah, love street fights.
experience. Yeah,
Street fight
experience.
background. Yeah, well, I don't blame you. That's how a lot of people honestly find an interest in it because they want to learn more. They want to like, maybe hone their skills. They know they might have to defend themselves out there. So they step into a gym and we're glad you came into our gym for sure. Cause I think you're probably one of the you're one of a few students that I had seen progress in a very short amount of time. And it's impressive, because it's a high level gym that we train at.
It's very high
A lot
level. It's definitely a humbling experience.
also.
Very. Well, I remember when I first walked in there, I was just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like that guy, but like, I was just like, yeah, I got this. And then, you do that there's certain movements, like your homeboy got, oh, you're dipping, you're dodging, right? But then you come across a face kick.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, I got to stay here. 'Cause you don't want to come across that. Yeah. So it's definitely, it was a lot of changes. I've learned a lot from FKA. I mean, it's humbled me up a lot in many endeavors in life. I could say, not even just in the fight game, but just in life general. It's helped a lot. Period.
Yeah, I
100%.
feel like your gym kind of becomes your family in a way. You sweat with these guys, you bleed with these guys, you train with these guys. It's hard not to, form connections with people and get that bond
Exactly.
going.
I got the same kind of mindset going on through this. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a good thing. It's a hunger thing. It's awesome. I love
Yeah,
it.
and your kids train now too, which is great. I think that's so beautiful that you guys
I
can
got my
come in and
baby
train
today.
together. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. They're so into it too. So it's awesome to see that they have the same passion that you do. And, they're starting at a much younger age. So you just never know. You never know where they're going to go with it.
Yeah, I've been telling them. And then Anthony's got that right cross, so you guys watch out for the future. I'm just kidding.
We'll see Anthony Abdul in the fighters rep ring before you know it.
Not even that, man. Angelina, she's a tough cookie to herself. So
Tough. Yeah, yeah. I gotta spar with her more. I gotta get her in the contact a little more. But that's okay. Girls
A
are always a
little
little
bit.
more hesitant. That's it. You know, but once they
Exactly.
find their strength, once they find that, like, oh, I can kick with these guys. I can hit them too. They start to turn it up. So
But yeah, you get that comfortable. You start to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
yeah, for sure.
And you do.
All right, so let's talk about these fights, man. So you came into this fight 6-0, and you and
Mhm.
Gabriel fought before, which I thought was really interesting because you debuted against each other. I don't really remember that though. So talk to me about the debut fight that you had with him in what was it, like 2020 or 2021?
2020, 21, something like that. Man, I must have only had a few months to a year in of training at that time. I Yeah, we debuted. So yeah, that's before even IKF, I believe. I debuted with him. I did. I did like 3 or 4 fights within such a short time frame, and it was interesting. We both, we went at it. It was a good fight. Um, Good control pace, and things different were different this fight.
Did you
I believe
did you feel like he was tougher in the first fight?
I believe we were both tougher in the first fight. uh,
Debuter's coming and throwing down like I'm not going down. I'm going out on my shield.
yeah, I mean, I think we both I think we both gave each other too much respect in the beginning. You know what I mean? In this fight, and that's where kind of the downfall went. If the rounds, if we would have done what we did at the end of the rounds, things probably would have turned out different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and not taking nothing for nobody. He was definitely a different opponent from the last time I faced him. He wasn't kidding when he said that he's progressed. You know what I mean? It is. It's been 4 years, and he definitely has. He was definitely showed more skill, more different levels to his technique, and yeah, and so he showed it, and not saying that I should have not stopped it, and I should have ran through that. I have to apologize to everybody and my teammates and everybody because for my performance, I was not happy. I'm my worst critic, and I mean, he was a tough cookie, but it shouldn't have went down the way it did.
Yeah, and those fights happen. I mean, it's also a 5-round fight, which you tend to pace yourself in those fights, but sometimes you can almost like overpace it. Like you don't take off soon enough. And I,
Yeah,
I rewatched the fight a few days ago and today, and I was listening to my
I
commentary
was
with
good.
Kyle. And no, honestly, I don't think it was like a poor performance on either end. I think I agree with you. You guys gave each other a lot of respect and you could see it. You guys were trying to feel each other out. He had a lot of great kicks. He had a lot of great side kicks, body kicks. His legs were doing a lot of work. And I think what happened is we were waiting for someone to take over and it kind of just like no one really pulled the trigger until the very end, which
They're just
I
like
think
hands.
solidified
They
your
like
win.
boxing. I should have like throw some hands some more. Like I got a lot better boxing than what I did, and they didn't showcase that, which I don't like. And I'm working on it right now. Trust me, every day I'm going to when I'm in the gym.
Well, you're the champ now, so you're gonna have a target on your back for sure. People are gonna want to, get a shot at that East Coast title. So you're definitely gonna have to defend. We've got a show in September and December, so I hope we plan to see you on it. Yeah, but so I want to talk about like this fight specifically. So you said the first fight, you guys were obviously different. His technique's gotten better. Your technique's gotten better. But yeah, I agree. There's definitely some slow pace in the beginning. And, I want to know though, he got you with like a couple of kicks. He had some really good like high kicks, body kicks. Like what was like the biggest shot you felt from him in this rematch?
Not to sound like that guy. I know he did connect it and he hit me, but none of it actually. It didn't hurt. Never once I got wobbled. I walked right through it. The only thing it kind of pissed me off. My kids were in the crowd watching, and I was like, man, they just see me get kicked in the face. But yeah, I did not like that. I mean, and that's what I said. I gave him too much respect. And I remember my crew Asa in the corner telling me, he was like, he's running, he's on the back step. He's like, you got to make it ugly. He's like, he don't want to fight. Go make it ugly. And it's not until I listened to what he was telling me to do, and then like pushed myself forward and went forward, is that when the fight happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he didn't bring it because, hey, like I said, I got, he did. He got me a couple shots. He kicked me in the face, but never was hurt. Never once was, and his fault because it was mostly he was on the back foot. So it was like if he went in forward maybe a little bit, maybe the shots would have hurt a little bit more. But him being on the back foot, it didn't. And like Carissa said, he don't want it. Go forward, push. And I had to make it ugly at the end. It didn't look pretty, but we just had to go in.
Yeah.
Take the extra step. I remember I listened to your commentary too, and you were saying the same thing. Take the extra step, go in, and that's what I had to do at the end. That's what happened. I wasn't at first, and then took the extra step or two, and then landed the shots. You know?
Well, it's easier said than done. I'm watching, so I can sit from the sidelines and be like, "Oh, he needs to punch more. He needs to go forward." But it's a lot different when you're in there. Realistically,
you was on it though. You was on it though.
Yeah.
You was on it.
Yeah, and the truth is, Kevin, I know your potential. I've seen you, spar in the gym. I've seen your other fights. You had a great run at IKF. Like that to me was like the biggest, like that's the fights I remember from your career so far was your IKF run because I felt like you put a lot together. You had great cardio, good pace. You were just like very dominant in winning that. So, that was a great tournament for you. But understandably, taking a break, it affects everything. It affects, your physicality. You're a little older, a little time off.
I pretty much take this fight on 30 days. Like, yeah. I mean, I knew about it a little bit more, but it was like I just got in there.
You did.
And not making no excuses, you know what I mean? But being out of the gym for a little bit and then getting into this, especially at this level, you know what I mean? It's different, you know what I mean? It's not, and that's, not taking nothing away from him, especially getting at this level when, you're facing guys that want it just as much as you do.
Yeah.
But how much do you want it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he'll learn a lot from this fight too. I think Gabriel will look back and probably see where he needed to push more and see that he did have you sometimes, he did like he would catch you with a little bit of a head kick. It would kind of clip your chin and, you're saying it didn't hurt, but like maybe, if he would have just pressed forward a little more or finished with a different kind of kick or stepped in a little more with it, he probably could have hurt you. So I think that's
because he never did. Like he did pop me, but if you watch he never did a second attempt.
They were like clips, like they were like little clips, but they would get you, and he has good kicks. He has good side control. He had really great range with his legs. I would like to see him box a little more. I wanted to see him like kind of match hands with you because I felt like every time he kicked, you would punch and your punches would definitely look like they affected him. So that's where I think you won the fight on punches. And definitely in that last round, that fifth round, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, I would love to see you guys both back in the Fighters Rep ring in the Lion's Den. This 125 division is heating up. George was really adamant about he was really adamant about getting an East Coast champ going because he's got a bunch of 125ers out on the West Coast. He's done a tournament out there, and we have looks like a lot of 125ers in South Florida, which I didn't really know until now. But it's exciting because you guys are so like fast and springy and.
All these young bucks are hungry, and I'm getting old. But you know what? I gotta represent.
Exactly. You gotta hold the East Coast down because I know he's not stopping. George wants to continue to promote Fighters Rep and kickboxing in South Florida. So you got the title now, man.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to George and Fighters Rep. Thank you for everything. 100%, man. It was a great opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, he puts on such a great production. It really is. I enjoy working with him and his crew. But yeah, so what was the corner advice toward the end? Like what sparked that fifth round kind of burst? Because I was, I know you. I've seen you fight. Your last fight too was interesting because you were kind of getting worked in the clinch of the Muay Thai fight.
I took a knee to the face in my last fight when I went down, and I didn't be about it, you know what I mean? I didn't bitch about it. My mom didn't raise no,
Yeah.
I got up and I was just like, Yeah, but it was clean. I respect it. It was a beautiful shot too. You know what I mean? Like if we're pro, it is what it is, right? So yeah, I didn't say anything, and I got up, but I just knew I had to do something because it was a 3 round fight.
Yeah.
I'm losing, and and I was working on so many things like this fight camp and blah 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 and all of this. But at the end of the day, I went to some old school, and I went with some 8 cent 10 pound spinning back kick to the liver, and yeah, that was it. To
Yeah.
respect to my opponent, yeah, he went down. He was hurt. He didn't. Yeah,
You had the
it
only like TKO of the night on that show, on that card. And it was crazy. I mean, we were sitting there watching. I was like, oh
and that
no,
was after
Kevin,
getting
you're
up after
gonna
the leg
like
count.
lose. Huh?
I was after getting up from the 8 count.
Yeah. 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 That kid had some good knees. That was a Muay Thai fight. His clinch was solid. He was like running a big knee game. But as soon as you like ripped the spinning back kick, it landed flush like beautifully. He
I
was
tried to play the
out.
range game, and he wasn't having it. He grabbed a hold of me.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I'm like,
that's
"Hey,
what
what is this?"
I was kind of thinking you were gonna maybe do something similar in this fight. You did throw a lot of spinning things, a couple spinning back fists and back kicks. Did you feel anything land though, like clean? Because I like,
Uh, they were a little sloppy. As I watched it too, I felt it being sloppy as I was throwing
yeah,
it, and then I watched the fight. I'm like, oh man, Ugh, ew, brother, ew. You know, I'm way better than that. I'm like I said, I wasn't 100% happy with my performance. There's things I 100% could have done better. And then, I did hit him with a clean spinning back fist where he was wobbled, and I rushed it, and I cluttered myself with the shot instead of giving myself the range and hit him. So he was
yeah,
able. I hit him, but he grabbed me again. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
feel like that was a moment that I could have capitalized and I didn't. You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
So there's just you just you live, you learn, you do things, and we'll get back to the drawing boards.
So in that fifth round, when you did go for that like burst at the end, that flurry, was that like you knew like you were like, I need to make a stamp on this, or was like the corner calling for that, in between the rounds?
It was 100% the corner call telling me. They
Yeah.
said 100% was like, yo, he doesn't want to fight you. He's doing the countering. He said, you don't have to make it look pretty. He said, make it look ugly. Just go in there and do it.
Yeah.
And he was saying that early in the rounds, and I wasn't really getting it at first. I was getting it, but I was like, I wasn't trying to look ugly. Like I wasn't getting what he was saying at first, but then I got it. I was like, I
Ah,
get it. I get it. Get in. Yeah, we got to get ugly, ugly. So it's like I would take a step forward. He would take the 2 steps back and try to do like the counter. So when he did it, I just took that extra step and threw the hand.
yeah.
And I knew it would connect. And it was like, all right, this is what it's talking about. Getting there and getting ugly.
Yeah, you landed
And
a
that's
beautiful right hand in the fifth round. I mean, it was like I was like listening and I'm like screaming like, "Oh my," because it was the biggest shot in the fight. It was something I'd wanted to see. That fifth round for both of you guys was better, and I think it was because you guys knew it was the last round. You guys probably both had a feeling it was close. Like, did you have a feeling it was close in the
I
fight?
did. I did 100%. Especially the first 2 rounds. I know I kind of like the first one. I definitely was like a pace round for me. Like I didn't even do it. I just wanted to see what he was about. And he was like, he talked a good game. He's like, I'm gonna do this, and that. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see what you got. I'm a
Yeah,
little older. Like I'm like a lemon, so I'm gonna put, and I'm gonna get going. And what I was he didn't get going like I thought he was. And like I said, I gave him too much respect, and I should have kicked my gear faster. I should have done more what I did at the end of the rounds. Just regardless, we won't do that again.
shoulda,
We
woulda,
won't.
coulda. It's always like that. It's always like that. I mean, I think everybody looks back on their fights, afterward and like nitpicks at things. Overall, though, I felt like you guys were both very technical. Like you could tell there was high level in there. Again,
I
Gabriel with
heard that.
his kicks.
A few people said that. They were like, a lot of
Yes.
people out here, they just was like wild and reimbursed. And I get it. Some people like yeah, you get hit, you want to hit back.
Right.
It was a very technical fight. I think it was too technical. Like I said, I
Exactly.
think we
When you
gave
get
each
two
other too much
technical people in
respect,
there,
and we should have just went in there and just
yeah. Next time.
bite down on the mouthpiece and go. You know what I
Next
mean?
time. Next time. Well, you know, you've been out a
Next
while
time,
too.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was
Next time, bite down the mouthpiece. Let's go. Let's get it.
ooh, that's a call out. I'm sure he'd love a rematch because I'm sure he would probably, well, trilogy at this point for you guys, but like, you know, I'm sure he's probably thinking the same thing. You know, I'm sure he's like, oh, I wish I could have done this more, done this a little better, like stepped in a little more, you know, but it happens. Like I said, 5 round fight, title on the line, you're going to be
And he
event.
was a good opponent, you know what I mean? And like the things I feel like he did, or his faults was he didn't step into. Like he did a lot of pity patting. He was trying to play points, or
Right.
like like it was like that kind of competition. This is the fight game. It's
Yeah.
just not. This is not the pity pat. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's why I feel I won because I landed the harder shots. You know what I mean? I landed. I was more aggressive. You know, he was more on the back foot, and yeah, he threw some punches and he threw some kicks, but they were just
Yeah.
to keep me at bay almost. You know what I mean? Because he was trying to play the range and the distance game, and
Hmm.
that's when they was telling him like, yeah, I gotta go take that step I'm taking. I gotta take that extra step. You know,
Yeah.
go forward. You know what I mean? To engage, and that's what it was, and then that's what I had to do to win the fight. I had to take that extra step you know what I mean? Because as he's playing the back foot, I had to double engage just to make land a shot. Because he
Right.
was every time I took a step, he was trying to counter.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Well, I liked the fifth round. I think the fifth round was a great, like, that was a good finishing round for you. It was good for him too. You know, I could see the fight in him a little more. He was trying to come back with something, but I just think you have the power, you have the strength, you had a little more of that grit in you, you know, and that's what I'm used to seeing from you. So I hope the next time we see you in the Lions Den, you come out like that in the first round. Because my friend, you're going to be in 5 round fights
I
from here
promise
on out.
you. I promise you it will. I said it last time. So I ain't gonna talk nothing. We ain't gonna say nothing right now.
Yeah.
Just yeah,
Yeah,
be
you'll
there.
be back. You'll be back. So, feeding off
I
of that,
will be.
what do you see yourself accomplishing, you know, with this belt? And, you know, just what are your plans? Like what's your fight plans looking like for Kevin Abdul in the next year or so?
I'm not getting any younger. I'm getting older. So there's there's a lot of fights I want to get out. I do want to go pro, but there's people I want to see. You know, I want to get a couple more amateur fights out, Muay Thai, kickboxing, and I want the best of the best. You know what I mean? I want to fight top of the line guys. I want to test my grit. You know what I mean? I don't
Mhm,
want I don't want somebody that can just like roll over. I don't want somebody who just did a bunch of smokers. I don't want you know what I mean?
mhm.
I I want somebody that would
They'll
part of
pull the
my
dog
friend.
out of you.
Part of my friend. Yeah, yeah, that. Okay, thank you. Pull the dog out. I was gonna say beat the out of me, but
I
yeah,
got
pull the hog out of me. Thank you. I love that part. That's what I want. That's like, and that's usually my best performance when somebody really engages with me.
Yep.
Then we sit there. I bite down on the mouthpiece, and I'll just, it's nitty gritty at that point. And that's what I want. And I got nothing to thank but you guys. Florida Kickboxing Academy, Ace 10 Pound, Jason Sumchai, and all my teammates for allowing this for me to do this and making this happen. Like I've been going through a lot of things in life, and you guys make it so much easier.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
much
you're
easier.
welcome. We love having you at the gym. You know, you push the guys as well because again, even for your age, even for your size, like I see you in the gym all the time working people, and it's good to see that because you know it inspires other people too. Like you're on the older end in this sport, but you're still getting opportunities. You're a champion now. You have a belt. You have a title. You know, you're
We
gonna
the 40
defend
plus club. I'm not 38. I think it's 10. I'm 38, but we the 40 plus club. Yeah, we got a
it.
couple guys we talk about.
I think the
Yeah.
more experience kind of makes you a little wiser in there. You know, everybody wants to be young and starting their careers in 2021, but I feel like you're almost too young. You don't know anything yet. You don't know anything, but when you've been around, you've been, you know, through some stuff, you can you gain confidence in yourself. You become kind of fearless, and it really puts things into perspective because you know hey, I can't do this forever. And if I want a chance at this fight career, I need to go now. And it motivates you more. So,
Definitely.
most of the guys in our gym are getting up there too. Even our pros are getting up there and they're still active. They're still going. So, I think actually the age kind of, if you can last in the sport without getting too injured, I think the age actually helps you, kind of motivates you to
We
get
did
things done.
nothing but remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. To quote Pretty Ricky.
we
So,
we did nothing but
I'll finish with this, Kevin. We've got the West Coast champion, David the Death Dealer Marquez.
hey, he's a fucking stud. Hey, yeah, hey. He just won another title, some
Yeah,
more time, right? He just fought. Yeah, hey, I follow. Trust me. If you're in my weight class, yeah, I'm in your DM, not your DMs, but I'm in your fucking your social. Well, I follow
rolling.
my thing. But your social, yeah, I'm checking you out. Trust me. Yeah, because
Yeah,
we're gonna fight, regardless who you are. We're all gonna fight.
I love it. I love to see a champion, especially someone like yourself go out there and just, yeah, I'm ready. Like, bring it on. I'm not scared of anybody. Put it down. Like, I would really love to see an East versus West Coast tournament. There was another 125 bout on the card, Ethan Rivera, and he won. And I thought he was really like, his boxing was solid. He's
Yeah,
tough. The kid is tough. And I would like to see him kind of get in the mix. There's a couple 125ers out there too. Ayer Ocampo, Christoph Broccoli. I interviewed them. They unfortunately didn't get to fight, but I know that they're hungry. I know they want to kind of get in the mix with you guys. So, what do you think about a tournament here in South Florida? Everybody coming for your belt.
you know what? You know what? As my boy Luis the Savage Morales would say, line them all up. We'll knock them down.
Ooh.
We'll knock them all down. Doesn't matter. This
I
is
love.
FKA. We'll do that. All right. We don't turn fights down. You call us out. We'll do the work. We'll do the work. We'll doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I love it. I
You
want to
know
leave
what?
it at that
You
because
know
I feel like
what?
that's the perfect
Actually,
way.
I do want that. I do want that because those boys, I see them. They were hungry. Oh, and they threw some hands. They wanted to fight a
Yeah.
little bit more than the last fight. You know what I mean? Like I said, the other guy was a little bit more on the back foot. They had to chase him down a little bit. That would be a more of a nitty
Kevin,
gritty in the face. Yeah, yeah.
I
I kind
think
of like that.
Ethan, I think Ethan would come at you, and I think that would be a
I
real
know,
big
I know.
duel.
100%. He's not. He won't shut it down for me. But I'm gonna. I love that. I'm old. I don't want to run too much. Let's just stay here and do it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
I hear you.
like
I hear you. Stand and bang, stand and bang. Let's
stand the
go.
bang.
Well, I love that, Kevin. I hope you guys out there in Knucklehead Nation appreciate the grit, the wisdom, the laughter that this new featherweight champion of yours brings to the Fighters Rep, to the Lions Den. We hope to see you back in action. I believe September 21st. Sorry if I misquote that, but I believe we're doing September 21st and December 14th. The dates have been announced. The tickets will go on sale July 3rd. George is not playing. He wants to get these shows going and rolling. So
I
please,
believe we're
please,
doing
please,
a
if you're
rematch.
interested.
That's right.
Yep.
I believe we're doing a rematch as well.
Oh,
In
really?
September.
Ooh, we
So
got some inside
stay
information. I didn't
tuned.
even know this.
So that's a little juicy. That might be in the work.
Breaking
But
news. We might have another. We might have a rematch, or that would be a trilogy for you guys, right?
I'll be I already beat him twice.
Yeah,
So
you're
you gotta
going
be a
into
third time. Yeah.
trilogy. Yep,
Yeah, true.
that's like some boxing stuff right there.
And after I win this one, yo, Death Dealer, come coming. I'm just kidding. Respect. But yeah, I would love to throw hands with the gentleman. He's a scrappy young cat, and it would that would definitely be a good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I've been following him a little bit too since I've jumped on, and yeah, he's active. The kid, he's not stopping. Like he's out there winning belts. He's on shows every other
Oh
weekend.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
game,
he's doing
and
his thing. And I
he's the
respect
king
that.
right now. He won the West Coast tournament out there. He's got the
Like I
Fighters
said,
Rep
if you want,
title.
if you want to do your thing, you want to step up, you gotta approach the guys. You know what I mean? And right now, he's one of the guys.
He's one of
So
the guys, that's for sure.
that's what you gotta
Well,
do.
do
And it's
not
all
miss
about,
this
it's nothing but
chance.
love and respect, brother. But yeah, you're in the way.
Ooh, I
Not
love
in
it.
the way,
I love
but
it, Kevin.
you're the like that'd be fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen. I think that would definitely be a scrap, a main event worthy. Where would it take place? That is the question, because East versus West, we would probably have to go out West because we're the newbies, right? Like, they are established out there. They probably want us coming into
Okay, that's
their
fine.
territory.
Let's do it. Let's all go.
We'll
I'm
just
down.
take the show on the road. We're just gonna go out
You
West.
know,
Everybody come with
we've
us.
probably never been to Florida though, and that's probably the good place to do it. We
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
some southeast stuff.
I think finance wise, it would probably be the best way, but you
Oh
never
yeah,
know. You never know. We
if
might end up
not,
in Cali.
we'll make it a unified title.
Yeah, yeah, both belts. Then you'd be the US champ, national, both coasts, right?
There you
But
go.
let's not forget these fights coming up though. September 21st, December 14th. We're back, I believe, at the Arian Event Center in Pompano Beach. George has secured the dates. He's looking for fighters. If you are interested in competing in the Lions Den on this lovely promotion that George puts on, reach out via Fighters Rep. You can follow them on Instagram. You can email George, just get in contact, because he really runs a genuine promotion. I've worked with a lot of promoters. I've been around. He's great. I
100%.
mean, he keeps his word. He's trying to push the sport. He's trying to give you guys all a platform and give you guys a chance to build a name for yourselves. Like, you don't come across people like that very often in this sport. So I want to sit here and just, support him, support Fighters Rep. I love the promotion. I've had a great time working with them. It's a beautiful show too. He does a lovely production. The stream is awesome. The stage, the lights, the music, like, he really goes all out. And it is a big stage. Like, it is a step up from your regular, like, kind of amateur show. Like, he makes it all about the fighters, which I think puts the pressure on, but I also think it makes for a better show.
No, it's I've only performed on certain platforms. You know what I mean? I've done IKF and I like CL fights, and you know what I mean. So I've only like fought for a certain amount of people. He does it. You know what I mean? Like there, he
Yeah.
brings the stage. He makes sure that you're up there. Like he makes it for the fighters, which is I enjoy that. You know what I mean? And the crowd loves it. Everybody
Yeah,
good.
the
We all
crowd
have a
is
good
live.
time. Oh, live, no, live. That's an understatement. They're lit.
Yes,
Everybody's going wild. Yeah, no, the fights are amazing. Everything's great. Yeah, if you ever tune into the fights, you need to. You know what I mean? They 100%.
yeah, absolutely. Well, we can't wait to have you back in the Lions Den, Kevin. I will see you in the gym next week. You got to start training because you got to get ready to defend this belt. But thank you so much for taking the time. I know you've had a long day, and I know you need to go and get some rest and get ready for sparring tomorrow. But any last words for the people before we head out?
Peace, love, and chicken grease. Number
All
love.
right, Kevin.
You guys
We'll
have
see
a good
you.
night.
Good night.
Good night.